Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Now this video today has been a long time coming from me, but it's a video that's going to be important for me to make. So it's something that I really wanted to sit down and talk about, just as me, with all the drag on, but just as me to you, sit down, talk and get into this situation because it is a mess. So if you're a regular viewer of my channel, then you'll know I'm a fan of Jeffree Star. But it's come to a point now where I really need to speak and say my piece, because for the longest time I have been burying my head in the sand on some important issues, and I've just got to the point now where I really can't do that anymore, and I really can't continue to defend things that I really shouldn't have defended from the very beginning. Firstly, Jeffree came out with a video yesterday showing off his new lipstick collection. These are going to be the ones that are going to replace, where am I? The lip ammunitions. Now I've got the lip ammunition bullet lipsticks, these ones here. So he's come out with this Velvet Trap. Now Velvet Trap, this has got people going because of the images, some of the campaign images that he used. One of them was depicting a woman of colour trapped in a mousetrap. Now this comes across as problematic to some people because in the past Jeffree Star has called Jackie Aina and Makeup by Shayla, two beautiful women of colour, beauty gurus, he's called them rats. So to put a woman of colour in a mousetrap now, in the time that we're in the world, some people have taken this as problematic and racist. Jeffree tweeted out the new iconic Velvet Trap lipstick, 20 shades, launching this Friday. Someone underneath Jeffree's tweet wrote this: "Are we not going to talk about the allegations against Jeffree? Is it going to continue to be muted, and are the victims going to continue to be paid off?" Another user wrote, "Jeffree Star really makes money off black pain. He knows damn well we will always remember when he called Auntie Jackie and Shayla rats. Then he puts a black model in a trap for a campaign. Yo, this is outrage marketing and he's profiting off pain. Make it make sense." Another person wrote, "Hey, it's super weird to use imagery of a black woman in a rodent trap, especially when you have a history of calling black women rats. But like every other terrible thing you do, this will inevitably be forgotten until the next launch." Someone replied to that with, "There are other campaign photos as well, you know. You'll want to turn everything into a racist narrative when you can't simply just admire a beautiful black woman slaying in this campaign." Me personally, I didn't immediately see that as racist. I didn't see it as a race issue. That particular image, I saw it as more of a fetish thing, and I was like, okay, this is cool, I'm down with this because, you know, I've dabbled in the past, you know, I'm not a stranger to that scene. So for me, it was an artistic decision. It wasn't necessarily something that I immediately looked at and thought, oh my god, that's racist. But then when you do go back and look at Jeffree Star's history, where he's called Jackie Aina and Makeup by Shayla a rat, to have a woman of colour in a mousetrap, it doesn't look that great when you've already got a history of insulting women of colour like that. So let's address the elephant in the room. I, as a Jeffree Star fan, have buried my head in the sand for long enough now. I've tried continually to defend Jeffree Star's past actions, especially recently we've had an article from Insider come out where you've got 4 people who've come forward claiming that they were sexually assaulted by Jeffree Star. Back in the past, this is dating back 10 years or so. But the date is irrelevant because the problematic thing is I jumped to Jeffree's defence and I really shouldn't have done that in this instance. As you're probably aware, Kat Tenbarge wrote that article, and in that article she's claiming that 3 of Jeffree Star's victims took $10,000 in hush money. Now, paying people off isn't right at all. There is no way that I, as a rape survivor and sexual assault survivor, can stand by someone that I've looked up to, a creator that I've looked up to, if they've paid people off to hush them about sexual assault. There are no words for that. You know, I just don't have the words to describe how terrible that is. And for me, personally, on a personal level, I can't stand by that. I can't defend that any longer. These victims of Jeffree Star have come forward, shared their experiences, and it's not for me to tell them that their experiences were not valid or that their experiences were fake. That is where I made a huge mistake. Huge mistake. And that is something that I am now apologising for, because as a survivor, the last thing I ever want to do is invalidate any other survivor's experience. The most problematic thing to me in this situation is that Jeffree Star himself has not acknowledged any of this. He's not acknowledged bribing people with money, allegedly. You know, he's not acknowledged the actual claims themselves either, which is a huge problem for me. If you're someone that I look up to and you're not gonna take accountability for your actions, however far back they are in the past, if you're not going to take accountability, man up and face those allegations, then this is a problem. This is problematic for me. Back when Jeffree Star was accused of a lot of racism and stuff, and a lot of the stuff from his past resurfaced about all the racism, the stuff that was from his youth, you know, he got on camera, he addressed it, he made a whole entire video addressing the allegations and addressing his past behaviour. He only talked about the racism. He didn't talk about sexual assault or anything of that nature at all. But the point is, he got his ass on camera and he made a video. He responded, you know, he took some accountability for those claims, for his past behaviour. Now we're at the point where he needs to take accountability for this. We can't continue to let this slide. We can't continue to defend it. It's very serious allegations. Yes, they're allegations, but what if they're true? What if they're true? You know, if these people have really suffered because of Jeffree Star, then he needs to man the fuck up, sit down, make a video for his subscribers, for his fans who've supported him for all these years, not knowing this information. He needs to sit down, address it, take accountability, face the consequences of the things that he's done. In 2010, Jeffree Star, of course, claimed that Blood on the Dance Floor member Davi Vanity, who he was touring with at the time, was a sexual predator and that he abused children, all of this stuff. He put it out on Twitter publicly for everybody to see. Then he went back on tour with this guy in 2012. If somebody is a known abuser and then you go back on tour with them, I can't defend that. Then in 2019, of course, Jeffree Star made very similar allegations about James Charles. Now, James Charles, when this happened, he got straight on camera, made his No More Lies video. You know, he addressed everything. He pulled up screenshots. He said his piece, and I thought he did very well in that video, actually. You know, I've said what I've said about James Charles on this channel. You know, there are certain things that I don't like about James Charles, but I respect him for facing up to the situation, coming out, saying his piece, denying the allegations that Jeffree Star had put on him, because these allegations nearly ruined James Charles' career. So this has been a pattern of behaviour with Jeffree Star, accusing people of being predators, of sexually assaulting people. And now that this has all come out, this is all resurfaced about Jeffree Star, he is not willing to sit down and face any of it. And this is the thing that's really rubbing me up the wrong way at the moment. This is the thing that I can't accept. In James Charles' No More Lies video, he showed us the threats that he'd received from Jeffree Star. He showed us where Jeffree Star had said, you know, oh, so-and-so is going to be going on camera and someone else, and they're going to talk about their experiences and they're going to expose you. It was a direct threat to James Charles. James showed us that. He's done the same thing in the past with Davi Vanity, accusing him of being a child molester. So what's going on here that you keep accusing people as far into your career as 2019, you've accused people of being predators, sexual assaulters? You know, why do you do that? And then to come along and try and steamroll through with a new product launch, that's just double insulting at this point. That is just, oh, you know, yeah, all this stuff's going on about me, but I don't care, just give me your money. Well as that, he's used this Andre Marhold guy to try and distract and deflect from this situation. He's used this fake boyfriend to try and distract people's attention away from these allegations. If you've got nothing to hide, then why are you using somebody else in that way to distract from these allegations? Why are you trying to hide it if you've got nothing to hide? To me, that makes a person look guilty. This all goes beyond tea, beyond drama. These are really, really serious allegations. And the fact that Jeffree has just flat out ignored them is too much for me now. I'd personally really hope that Jeffree would be a man and sit down and have this conversation and talk about it. You know, if he did these things, I was hoping he would sit down, talk about it, talk about why he did it, talk about how he's really changed, talk about all the claims that he actually makes now that he's changed and all of this. We don't know that he actually has, because if you're using someone else to try and deflect and distract from these allegations, it doesn't show me that you've changed. Back in the summer of this year, when all that controversy was surrounding Shane Dawson, all of those old video clips of him resurfaced, Shane did the right thing, right? He got on camera, he sat his ass down, he made a video and he addressed all of it. The racism, the sexual allegations, you know, he addressed everything. He spoke about how his old humour didn't translate nowadays and all of that. You know, and I have respect for Shane for doing the right thing, facing up to it, you know, and not just letting it, you know, slide on past. Shane sat down, he made his video. He's taking some time off the internet. He's taking some time away, which I think is the right thing to do, because that tells me he's actually thinking about his actions. He's actually thinking about the consequences and the effect this could have on people like Willow Smith and the Smith family, you know. So for me, I don't have a problem with Shane Dawson, but for Jeffree Star to just continue business as usual, I have a problem. And then we get into the issue of Morphe. Jeffree Star has been selling his products at Morphe for years, and also he's done a collaboration with them. He did the whole Morphe x Jeffree Star collaboration with them. Now, recently Truth Sleuth came out and made a video claiming that she thought Jeffree Star's products were still being sold in Morphe. So I looked into it. I went on the UK Morphe website and you can still see that their products are still available. Both the Morphe x Jeffree Star collaboration and the Jeffree Star Cosmetics products. Now, back in July, Morphe came out with a statement saying that they were no longer going to be working with Jeffree Star. They were ceasing all commercial activity with Jeffree Star and Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Here's the post from the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Instagram. It says, "Hey Star family, we are shocked and extremely saddened by the decision of our former retail partner, Morphe Brushes, on parting ways with our brand and Jeffree. Over the past 5 years, we've accomplished amazing things together and released iconic products. We are proud of everything we've accomplished with them. What's next? We have an amazing remainder of 2020 planned and are excited to share our new products with you and our partners around the world. We know our customers will continue to create, inspire and push the boundaries of our art. Love you all so much. Jeffree Star Cosmetics." And that was posted on July the 10th. That was back in July. We're now in October. And me having looked at both the US and UK Morphe websites, seeing the products are still available, that tells me that they haven't completely ceased commercial activity with Jeffree Star or his brand. Now, it might be the case that some of the products just haven't sold out yet, because when you go onto the UK site, lots of the products are sold out. They're all still reduced. Nothing is full price. Then you go onto the US website. Now, this is where there is a little bit of something funny going on, because if you watch Truth Sleuth's video on this, then she claims that they restocked recently the Jeffree Star lip liners, the velour lip liners. So if they've recently restocked it, then that is not ceasing commercial activity. So Morphe, it sounds like Morphe have fucking well lied to us too. Where we are now with Jeffree Star, with all of this stuff resurfacing, it's really, really damaging his public image. You know, it's absolutely damaging his sales, his brand, all of that. And I can't believe that he hasn't spoken about it personally. You know, he got on camera recently, he made a video talking a little bit about the Andre Marhold situation, but completely ignored this. Completely ignored the sexual assault allegations and all of that. He said, oh, there are some things I don't want to talk about. You don't want to talk about it, but you're happy for people to know that you've hired this guy, been on these fake dates with him, had this fake relationship and all of this stuff, but you don't want to talk about the serious allegations against you. Hiring a person of colour to be your boyfriend, you know, that's bad enough. That's a race issue for me. If that was something that he did to promote his orgy collection, which I think is really likely, because when you look at the orgy palette, oh, sorry, I'm just going to pull her out here. When you look at the orgy palette, you go inside and it is all different skin tones. To me, that's a stunt, right? That is a stunt. If you're parading around with a person of colour as your partner or someone you're dating, and then it turns out to all be like fake, you've released this palette that's all different skin tones, that is a stunt. With the Black Lives Matter movement and all of the racism stuff that is going on in the world at the moment, we can't just ignore that in the beauty community. We can't just let that go. In 2020, where we are now, we should not still be accepting racism, homophobia, transphobia in the beauty community. We should be doing a lot better than this. It's not good enough for me to sit here and deflect from the situation and say, oh, well, it's okay, these allegations against Jeffree, oh, it's all right, this all happened in the past. It's not good enough. I needed to come on camera and just do the right thing and speak up for victims of sexual assault, because being someone who's a survivor of sexual assault, I know the trauma, I know what I've been through, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone else. So for me to just make excuses for Jeffree Star because he's Jeffree Star, that's not acceptable. And 100% I apologise for that, and genuinely, you know, I'm ashamed at myself for defending him this far with it. My final thought is, as I said before, I just wish that Jeffree had been a bigger person in this situation and actually listened to what people are saying and sat down and addressed it, had the conversation, talked about the racism, talked about the sexual assault, because I think it would have helped people to understand him better. I think it would have helped people to see who he is now and see that he has actually changed, if he claims he's changed. You know, how many times have we heard Jeffree Star saying, oh, I've changed, I'm not the same person that I was. If you're really not, then you wouldn't be afraid of sitting down and having that conversation. But the fact that you don't, the fact that you're not prepared to sit down and even make a 10-minute video addressing it, that tells me that you are the same person that you were 10 years ago. I only hope that he can find some peace and some love in his life, because clearly, if you're pulling this shit, you're not a happy person, right? This video is probably going to get me blocked by Jeffree Star on all social media, but to be honest, at this point, I'd rather that than stick up for someone who won't come and speak about this and have this important conversation on a human level. You know, I would rather be blocked by him than keep making excuses for him at this point. I would rather stand up for myself, stand up for my morals, my ethics, stand up for survivors of sexual assault, than just be a sheep to somebody who only wants our money. You know, I would rather take a block from him, if that's what it is, than, you know, continue to ignore all of these shit things about him. At the end of the day, I'm happy to take it a block or whatever from him and move on, because I know I'm good with myself. I know I've sat here, I'm taking accountability for my shit decision in defending him, and I'm good with myself. I'm good with me. I can move on from that situation knowing that I've done the right thing for me and the right thing for victims of sexual assault. So guys, on that note, I'm gonna leave this video here. Let me know what you think in the comments though. Do you think Jeffree should have addressed this? Or do you think it's something that people have made up? Do you think it's all fake? Let me know. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, take care, stay safe, stay well, and I will see you on the next one. Mwah. Bye guys.